So should I proceed now?
अस्सलामुअलैकुम सर।
वालेकुम
सर ये जेको जॉइन कयो पिया सभिनि खे एडमिट कयो पिया त
सलाम।
इन मंझि हिकिड़ो आबिद शाका नाले छोकिरो आहे, हुनखे एड न कजो, ठीकु आहे? उहो असां क्लास जो कोन्हे। ऐं उन खां अलावा ॿ टे साईं नाला कुझु साॻा साॻा नाला चवनि पिया, डबल ब्राउज़र ते हलाइनि पिया, हू माहौल ख़राबु पिया कनि। फ़िलहाल माइक से ऑफ न कजो, त सभिनी एड करे वठो, ॿुधायां तव्हांखे।
Sir, can I have
So have you any question up to now?
Yes, sir. तो क्या नाम है लेवा?
I'm here.
Okay.
Have you any question?
Yes, sir. Please repeat the audit records.
It is actually whenever any process is running on the system. For example, any user is accessing different systems, so the different records are generated, or different logs are generated into the system. So this information can be used by an attacker, or this information can be used by an intruder to get the information of different features which are used by the user. So he can get that information, and after getting that information, he can apply that information to get further control of the system. So this is actually the record, or the login, the different information which is generated whenever any user is accessing particular services, or he get access of the different systems of then he can use that information in order to get an access to the system.
Sir, it means it is the technique which is used by the attackers or intruders.
So it is actually a method that is used by the attacker in order to get the information from the system. So he can get the information of the user which he is going to, for example, take for example. So then first he tries to get its information. So the method he applies, he's applying to get the information is through the means of the login information, or through the means of different logs. So after getting the information from these different logs, so he can get access to the system.
Okay, sir. I got it. And sir, what about the slides? How we will get these slides? I mean, when you are going to update your account on LMS?
Yes, I will update that, and I can also send you the slides from here as well.
Sir, then please share us.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so have you any question?
सर ये पता नहीं कौन है आबिद शाह सर, आबिद शाह का सर, इसको रिमूव करें सर।
कौन लाके देगा तुम्हें मोबाइल?
He's not your class fellow?
नहीं सर, वो हमारे क्लास फेलो नहीं है सर, पता नहीं कौन है सर, ये पता नहीं कौन वायात लोग आ जाते हैं। सर इसको रिमूव कर दें सर, हाफिज शका को।
Okay, so so let's further discuss about uh, other topics. Like for example, we were discussing that how we can manage different passwords. So we can manage different passwords using different mechanisms, like as we discussed that we define different policies for the password, or we can define that what, either what would be the default password, after how much time the password can be updated. So what are the different passwords, you can say features can be used to make the password, or for example the different password files can be generated in order to manage different passwords. So in this way we can use different policies as well in order to protect uh, the system, or for example in order to protect the password we can apply different mechanisms. As we discussed, we can use the encryption methods, we can use hashing functions in order to protect the password from other users. And then we have for example we as we discussed that the user can be able to get the password information through different means. So either he can use a different for example there's a login information that consists of the username and password, so he can get that password through some software, or he can get some password either that would be of for example any social website, for example Facebook or Twitter, or for example other information about other systems also. So he can get that type of information through some software, for example, or uh, through some network, for example. You can also get that information, or he can also get the information through the files which are used uh, to protect the password from the intruder, for example. So he can he can also get the information from that as well. And then then there are different methods which can be applied to protect the password. That could be are the proactive methods, or that could be of the reactive methods. So as we have discussed that there are the proactive methods, like for example we are protecting the password before that is used. For example, we apply encryption methods, we apply hashing functions, we apply different rules to protect the password from other system, to protect the password from the intruder or an attacker. So that is called a proactive password checking, for example. And then the reactive could be possible that we apply after that. But if we find that if an intruder uh, has detected or has accessed the password, then we apply other methods uh, uh, to apply other methods to know that if the intruder has detected that if an unauthorized user has accessed the password and get access to the system, then we can apply some other methods uh, in order to protect the password. Like for example, we may change the password, we may apply some other policies of the password, so that an intruder or an attacker cannot get an access to the password or cannot get the control of the password. So in this way we can apply different methods to protect the system from the password. So uh, this is actually we discussed so far that what are the different methods we discussed. And as far as uh, different intrusion detection methods we discussed in this lecture. And we also discussed what are the different methods we can apply uh, to uh, to detect the intruder. For example, either that could be the statistical methods or it could be the rule-based methods. And how we can manage the password, we can apply different proactive methods, or we can apply some reactive methods to protect the password from the attacker. So if we apply some proactive methods, then before creating the password, we apply those methods. Like for example, encryption, and some other methods, hashing, and some policies we define, like limit of the password, like for example time duration of the password, or different policies which can be defined, which characters, which letters we can use in the password. So these are the different policies we define whenever we define the password. So in this way we can have different methods we can apply, that how we can use these different methods to protect the password. So if you have any question, then up to now, then you can ask. Okay, so do you have any question?
Yes, sir. What is a password management, sir?
So it is actually the procedure that is applied to manage the password, in the sense, for example, because we may be using different passwords for different users, or we may be using
Yes, sir.
different different password for different privileges, for example. So we need to manage those different passwords according to the type of function we are using. We can use that particular password for that. So either we can manage that password through different files also, or we can manage these different password by using different other mechanisms. Like for example, so the protection of the password is also very important here. So we apply different encryption methods, and we can also apply different hashing methods, or we can make different policies for the password to protect the password from the intruder, so that he cannot get the information and access to the system.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
सर बेस रेट वाले सी पे
Yes.
base rate fallacy.
Base rate fallacy.
Yes, sir.
Base rate fallacy is actually a method uh, that is to know that because there's if we compare different intrusion detection methods, so uh, we try to make that type of intrusion detection method which can produce less number of false positives. Now, what does mean by false positive? False positive means there if there's an if it is not an intrusion or it is not an attack, but it is considered as an attack. So this is called a false positive. So we try to reduce number of false positives into the intrusion detection system. So this is actually the quality can be defined into the intrusion detection system, that he should produce less number of false positives into the system. So this is this feature or this is called the base rate policy. Okay.
Sir, how we get this slide, sir?
So I'll also update the LMS as well. I can also send you the slides from here as well.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
वेलकम बेटा.
Sir, will you upload this video?
Is it so do you, if you need that, then I will do that. Otherwise I
Yes, please,
put it in
sir.
my record.
प्लीज
sir,
सर हम
please.
रिवाइज करेंगे सर.
Yes, sir.
Please
We need
upload, sir.
Please upload it.
Yes, sir. We need this video, sir.
Yes sir, we also need this video.
सर हम रिवाइज करेंगे सर.
सर
हाँ जी अंग्रेजी या मुस्तफा तो जी.
थैंक यू जवाद भाई.
Any other question you want to ask?
Yes sir, I have one question sir.
Yes.
सर मैंने आपको लैब दी थी सर, आपने उस मुझे एब्सेंट कर दिया है सर, और मैं आपके ऑफिस में भी आया था 3-4 दफा, बोला था.
So you can
तू मथे थाम
you
दी
can send me your information detail that then I will check further.
Okay sir, I will send.
मुस्तफा किथे यार.
जवाब माइक बंद कर.
तव्हां घरे मथां वेठो आहियां.
सर तक कोन अची.
Okay.
किसान पापे सां गॾु वेठो आहीं यार. Yes, sir.
माणे सां.